Cheers, guys. Epix 911, welcome to
Gaming Friday. All right, my bro Epic survived the long trip across North America again, so that means it's time for our Friday night of gaming and debauchery. Now, before we can get down to that, of course, there's VR news, so I'm going to send you back to him in a minute. But before the news, one real important
sorry,
thing.
bro. Didn't mean to disconnect you there. I think what he was trying to say was, yes, it is Gaming Friday, the July 21st, 2017 edition of VR News. Let's jump right into VR, guys. First up, NZXT, one of a group of PC builders that also manufactures gaming PCs and cases. In fact, I didn't realize that they built PCs. I'd only ever known them as a case manufacturer. For those who are not comfortable putting their own gaming rigs together, these services, while expensive, usually deliver. What hasn't been available, however, is a way for anyone to build a VR gaming rig. Now, it's easy to say, look, if you want to do VR, just get a gaming rig. But it's a bit more complicated than that because low-end gaming rigs, while fine for games and much more powerful than, onboard Intel-style cards, for example, might not be suited to even low-end VR. So I agree. It should be separated for that point because we're dealing with people who generally don't know or couldn't be bothered. They want somebody else to build the rig. NZXT, recognizing this, they've released a statement that this feature is going to be coming soon, but no set time frame for it. Hopefully vendors like Falcon Northwest and Dell's Alienware follow suit. This next story. Love this show, Stranger Things. It's a show I watch with my wife. Probably enjoy it as much as we do because it takes place in the 80s when we were preteens and teenagers. So super nostalgic decade for both of us. The video that you see playing right now is a passive, lower quality 360-degree version of Stranger Things VR experience. There is a much better version being shown at Comic-Con right now. It is a fully interactive Vive Roomscale version. Probably not ever going to see the light of day commercially. Maybe they release it for free. It's just too damn short, but supposedly good. If you want to chuckle, you can watch the cast, which is to mean the children of the show, go through the VR experience and see their reactions. That in the link in the description below. Lone Echo, a game that I played the hell out of this morning, did a quick look on it, played it some more, just had a blast. Road to VR reporting that it and the multiplayer Echo Arena are now working for Vive via the Revive tool. So if you have a Vive, interested in this game, but you were sitting on the sidelines, rest assured you can purchase it and play it via the Revive tool. And I gotta say, guys, it is the first VR game, and I've played other ones like it that try to do zero-G. This is the first that nailed zero-G for me. Obviously, I wasn't floating around my room, but I sure as hell had that feeling. The presence was I was in a zero-G environment, which is really freaking cool. It is available via Oculus Store, $39.99 US. Next up, I love a lot of geeky hobbies, and one of my favorites, building arcade cabinets. Sadly, I had to tear this beauty down. This was the third cabinet I ever built. It was an Aliens-themed arcade cabinet, and it was just too big, and I didn't design it with modularity in mind. So I couldn't take it apart. It was basically destroy it, which absolutely crushed me, but I will build this again. Well, James Turner, a flight simulator enthusiast, done something similar for virtual reality, specifically flight games, built himself this transformable cockpit. I love this thing. It is an unassuming wardrobe style chest that then converts into a cockpit for VR flight games and even 2D flight games when he's not playing VR via the swing monitors that he's created. Costs him about $400 to $500, weighs 120 pounds, but damn does it look cool. And that drink holder, absolute pure win there. Now, he's also got future upgrades in mind. He wants to add lighting for nighttime use, rumble seat speaker system, and the kicker, which I find freaking awesome, a Maverick flight helmet complete with an O2 mask for mounting his Rift. Just awesome. You'd really feel like a pilot then. And this next news story deals with a statement from Jason Rubin, who is Oculus's head of content, regarding future technology upgraded versions of the Oculus Rift. He indicated that wireless, like what the HTC Vive is using, as an example of a feature they're not going to add for a while. He said the Rift technology will not be incorporating any new features like wireless or eye tracking for, as he put it, a while. And he added, people should not hold their breath and wait. If people are wanting those features, for example, the aforementioned wireless capability, they will have to, like with the Vive, purchase them through third parties. My 2 cents, guys, for me personally, I don't want the extremes. On the extreme short time frame, I don't want my HMD to be like a cell phone. Don't come out with a new model every year. Likewise, I don't want to have to wait for like a console's life cycle. 6-7 years? Hell no. I want a happy medium. I think 3-4 years is fine, but what I would like even more is a modular design. When they get to the point where it's wireless standard and not so bulky standard, make them modular. So if graphic processing power over the course of those 3-4 years you have that unit get better, you can just swap one in. Same with CPU, same with memory. That I would love to see. And last story, probably one of the most covered on this channel for things non-gaming related, is the use of VR for education, training, etc. That's exactly what this last story is about. So one of the most non-gaming VR related tangents that I said we cover here has to do with the potential of VR for training people. Google sought to conduct tests to see just how well and what the potential for that was. So they did a test. They divided people into 2 groups. One having access to YouTube instructional videos on how to make an espresso coffee, and the other group using a VR training prototype that featured a 3D model of the espresso machine they would be using. One group, using just the instructional YouTube videos, was able to do it in real life on average after 3 tries. The group that used the VR prototype only required 2 tries. Even though I love VR, that's obvious, I'm not so sure I trust the results of this test completely, because it's already been proven statistically that hands-on is one of the best training techniques used. And really, that's what virtual reality was mimicking here. Whereas the YouTube video, it was all watching and not being able to do it yourself. What I would have liked to have seen is how VR training compares to real life training. In other words, do the mock-up in VR, but then train another control group actually using an espresso machine, then check the results. To me, that would have been more interesting. Either way, guys, it is Gaming Friday. You better be doing your gaming. Have a hell of a great weekend. We will catch you tomorrow.
And in. All right. I bet you guys didn't know I had mad hacking skills too, did you? Okay, well, I'm sorry I had to break in here, but my bro Epix is just simply being too nice again. So I've got to remind everybody that we need to grow this channel. So please, at the end of the video, if you like what you're seeing, please click like, subscribe if you've not subscribed, and above all, tell anybody you know who loves VR all about the channel. Spread the word. That's the only way we're going to get the gospel of Epix out there, okay? All right, and I will now release you back to the rest of your regularly scheduled VR news.
tomorrow. Cheers, guys.